Welcome back, guys. It's the Tightwaddiy, and you know I love smart devices, and I've already shown you I've installed some cameras around my house, but I'm not super happy with them. So when EUFY reached out to me and asked me if I would try out some of their security cameras, I jumped at the opportunity. So they sent me this 2K Full HD Floodlight camera. It's a 360 camera coverage, and I'm going to be replacing this lamp style light because this is a wired unit with this new camera. So I'm installing it in the rear of my house right now just for installation and testing, and if I like it, I'm going to move it over to the driveway later. So let's go ahead and get started with the installation. It's very important before you start messing with the electrical wiring to turn off the power. So I have my basement light switch here, and it is in my breaker box. It is number 18, so I match it up here. I'm going to turn this off first, and then I'm going to go back and check and make sure that the light has turned off, so I know the power is out before I start trying to remove that light fixture. With the power to the light fixture safely turned off, you need to remove your existing light fixture. This one had a silicone around the outside. I used a heat gun to heat that up and peel it away. So if you don't have a heat gun, I'll link one in the description to Amazon where you can purchase one. And I'm going to remove the wire nuts from these wires coming out of this junction box. So I should have a copper wire, which is your ground, a white wire, and then a black wire, which is your power. So I'm just going to twist off the wire nuts, and we're going to save these to reuse them. Once you've removed your light fixture, you can start determining what you need to do next. So it comes with this bracket that I need to get installed, and the center hole here is key because you have a long bolt that's going to go through it. So I do need to remove the existing bracket. I am going to save the screws that are here so that I can reattach the bracket that came with the camera into the exact same configuration. Now I'm going to remove this bracket, and we're going to install the new bracket with the concave side facing in like this. And I'm just going to insert the exact same screws back into it. The previous installer appeared to have used drywall screws, but that's what worked, so I'm just going to put those back in. It'd be awesome if you would click that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. This camera can be mounted like this for a sidewall, or this can be flipped down, and it can be mounted for a ceiling mount as well. There's just a little button right here on the inside that allows you to flip this piece up. It comes with this safety harness that it tells me to run around this piece and loop it through itself. And this is going to allow me to hang the camera while I connect the wires. I put my work glove between the plastic globe that covers the camera and the wall to keep it from being scratched, and I left the protective coating on all of the other ones. And I brought you around to the other side so you can see the wiring a little bit better here. The first thing I'm going to do is connect the green wire from the camera to the copper wire in my box. There's a chance that your green wire from the box is green, but most likely it is not. And the wires on the camera are stranded, and the wires from the box are solid. And I'm going to twist the stranded wire around the solid wire in a clockwise motion, because whenever I screw on the wire nut, it should just strengthen that by tightening it even tighter. Once you've put a wire nut on, it's always a good idea to give a pull on each wire to make sure it's connected securely. Next, I'm going to do the white wire. Again, I'm going to take the stranded wire from the camera and wrap it clockwise around the solid wire from the wall. And I'm going to twist on my wire nut, and they twist on clockwise. Give a pull on each of them to make sure they're securely entered, and repeat for the black. With those wired, I can tuck these wires up inside the box behind the bracket. In the next step, I'm going to remove this hook. I'm going to feed the wires into the box. Then I'm going to take this long bolt and I'm going to put it through the camera and into the mounting bracket hole right here. So it's a few steps in one, but it all has to happen at the same time. So I'm removing this hook. I'm going to push these wires into the box. One thing I just noticed is that the wires are coming off the back of the camera above the hole. So I'm going to actually move my wires above the bracket. I'm just going to take off this left side here And I'm going to stuff the wires from the top side instead of the bottom. All right, now that the wires are coming off the top side, I'm going to remove this hook again. I'm going to push the wires in. And now I'm going to look through the hole and line it up with the hole in the mounting bracket and screw it in. With that step done, I can remove the safety harness, and it is mounted and we are ready to start setting it up with the app, at which point we'll be able to aim our lights. Since it's now mounted, I'm going to remove the protective covers on each of these light panels. And I can remove the protective film from this area as well. They do provide this USB cable that I could have powered on the camera inside the home before I mounted it to set everything up in the app, but all I'm going to need to do on the camera is scan a QR code. I already have one camera set up in my EUFY app, as you can see shown on the screen now, but I'm going to touch Add a Device. I'm going to scroll down and find the camera that I'm setting up, and it is the Floodlight Camera Pro. And now it wants me to scan the QR code on the back of the camera. The QR code that you need to scan for the app is actually right here on top of this piece, so it's easily accessible even if you've already installed the camera. It's suggesting that I have installed this inside using the USB cable. We have a flashing light on the front of the camera.
Press the sync button until you hear the beep.
There's a waterproof covering over this you have to pull off, and then you can hold the button down. Next, it will ask you to approve the use of Bluetooth, and it will connect your camera to your phone. Next, it asks me to select my home Wi-Fi network and put in the password, so obviously this is hidden from the view right now.
Connecting to the Wi-Fi network, please wait. Setup was successful.
I'm going to click the next button. I'm going to specify that it is in my backyard. And there's an update available. I'm going to go ahead and let it update now. Once the update is completed, it will take you through the step-by-step instructions for installing the camera, which I've already shown you in the video. By the time I got to this part of the installation, it was completely dark outside, and you can see the camera quality is really good even in dark situations, but you can also see how well the 3 panel lights lit up the backyard. And right now I'm adjusting the camera. This is a 360-degree camera, so you can control it right from within the app, and it's asking me to angle it at the most common location where I want it to detect motion. The next step is really cool. It allows you to adjust the temperature of the color, so you can go back to the yellow old school coloring or to the newer daytime, the bluish light. I really like mine somewhere in the middle, just that nice white light, so I moved it back to the middle. But I did adjust the brightness to be as bright as it could be, so I could fully light up the backyard. That's a really dark area where I also work outside and do a lot of projects. Then it tells you to clean off any fingerprints that you may have had on the globe, and then now you can see it set up in the app along with my other camera. Each of these light panels is individually configurable, and they just have these little tabs right here that you loosen them up, and then you're able to lift up the panel and move it right to left as needed, and then you can also go down or up as needed. And then all you do is tighten this back down, and you can do the same thing on the other side. There is a human detection mode on here, but I turned it off and moved it to all motion so that I could show you how the camera works. So you'll see a squirrel comes in from the right side of the camera, and the camera automatically aims that direction. And then as the squirrel moves over to the left side, the camera then moves to the left side and records it until there's no more motion. We've had this camera installed for about a week, and I really like the motion sensor, the 360 abilities, and the lights. My wife was out here last night spray painting, and the light provided enough light for her to get the job done when it was pitch black dark outside. So I will be making some more follow-up videos. I have some other videos from EUFY I'm going to be installing, and I'll also give a full review of all that's included in about a month so that I have ample time to go through all the different settings and really try them out, and then I'll let you guys know what I think. So if you like this video, make sure you hit a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys have a great day.